Yeah, imagine being in business for a century. Yes, here at ABC Recycling, they divert 20,000 tons per month of scrap metal, keeping it out of the landfills. Things like this car. Oh, yes, this was once a car. We're going to find out what else they do here. Coming up next on BT. Stay with us, live from Richmond. I know I said Richmond as we were going to break. That's one of the hazards, Dave, is when you go out every single day. It's like, where am I? Well, today, there's no question. I am somewhere super cool. We're here at ABC Recycling. 100 years, this family business. So how did this, is your great-grandparents?
Started by my great-grandfather with a horse and carriage picking up metals throughout the Vancouver area. And this is how we've evolved to today.
Wow, this is incredible. So we'll make our way to some of the stuff that you take here. Most people, they think of recycling, aluminum cans. That's kind of what the everyday person does. But really, you do a lot more than that, clearly.
We take metals from residential and industry. And here's a couple common items that you might find. Aluminum siding from your house. Thermal break, so your window frames, we'll get it from demolition, or if people are putting in new windows. Steel rebar, we get from construction sites or demolition will come in. Everything up to your kitchen sink comes in, and yeah, we get all types of metals from all over the place.
And what kinds of things will, once this is melted down, I guess, is that what happens eventually?
Yeah, so we take all the metals, we sort them into the different categories. They'll get sent to different foundries and melted down and turned into new products.
What kinds of products might it get turned into?
Well, for steel, it will come back to the local market here, some of it, as rebar for construction. The aluminums that are melted down, some will come back as construction materials, as well as extrusions, thermal break as well.
Well, listen, things are going to get pretty exciting. Thanks very much, Dave. Coming up in the next segment, Jody, we are going to be shearing a railway car. Here at ABC Recycling, more details, you can go to abcrecycling.com. Yeah, and you know what? We get to do cool live eyes all the time, but we're truly giving you a behind-the-scenes look here at ABC Recycling. We're coming up next. We are going to be shearing a railway car. It doesn't get any cooler than that. Stay tuned. You're watching BT. You're nervous. I got to stay back 50 feet. Yeah, things are pretty happening here at ABC Recycling. And Randy, we are going to be shredding, I guess, shearing a railway car.
Rail car,
oh
you got it.
How does this even come to be here?
Well, rail cars have an end of life just like vehicles. So we have contracts with some of the rail companies out there. And when it's the end of life, it's unsafe to travel on the rail tracks. It comes to us. And when it comes to us, we get it like this, and we're ready to process it.
Let's do it right now. So that's George there working in, what's this machine called?
It's just an excavator with a specialty attachment on it, which we call a shear. So the shear is basically like a big pair of scissors, right? It just cuts through material, and it just makes it look so easy from what they do there.
Now, to actually process, how long does that take?
It takes about 90 minutes to fully process a rail car, but what George is doing right now is just the beginning of it, just to show you kind of how easy it is with that hydraulic attachment that he has on there, how simple it is to process that rail car.
Now, have you, obviously this is a family business, have you been able to do something like this, or do you kind of...
My job
is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's cool for what we see and what we do, right? My job is to go get the rail cars, right? So we got to feed the yard and get our guys working on the equipment, right? So it's cool to see this. We see it every day. But for people like yourself, when you come in, it's just a whole new world.
Wow, right? It's super cool. Now, of course, we've also got something happening over here.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, over there is a big pile of just construction, demolition waste, various different types of steel. What we'll do is we'll get it from customers. We'll load it up in that big pile over there. The big green machine, the Centerbogen, is what we call a material handler. That will take that material. As you can see, it grabs it and it'll throw it into that Rogers shear.
Okay, we got to make our way back to this railway car here right now, because it's just about to be finished here. My goodness, they do so much great work here at ABC Recycling. And Michelle, I know that we're going to traffic right now. Yeah, this would be stopping traffic to be able to see something like this. Isn't this cool?
That is amazing.
What happens to the non-ferrous aluminum? Well, we're going to find out coming up next on BT from ABC Recycling. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Exactly. And right now I guess we're going to be processing things that are considered non-ferrous. But what exactly is non-ferrous, Mike?
So non-ferrous metals are any kind of metal that does not contain iron, which is ferrous. And if you put a magnet to it, it won't stick. So that's how you can tell.
So what do we have here?
On the belt there is aluminum extrusion. So that's your window frames, door frames, patio railings, stuff like that. and that's going into machines to be pressed and baled, to be compressed.
All right, so now it's basically gone on the conveyor belt. We've stopped it just a little bit because obviously it's a little bit loud. What happens to it from that point?
So what'll happen is it gets compressed, and basically once it's sorted, we bale it, process it, ship it, and we sell it to markets all over the world.
So let's look at some of the bales right now. It clearly is, it looks very identifiable. Like I can clearly see what the aluminum cans are there. What other kinds of ways do you bundle it?
So we bundle it by baling it mostly if it's a light product that needs to be densified. We have some aluminum radiators behind that, some insulated wires, all kinds of different stainless steel, everything, all kinds of the non-ferrous metals get baled.
And so when you're looking at from the baling standpoint, obviously it gets it to a consistent size. Is that to sort of enable you to transport it easier, or?
Yeah, it's to get the weight so we can ship it properly and get the maximum weight to ship it the most cost-effective way.
Do you ever just go here and run around going, yeah, this is super fun? Family business, obviously 100 years old or over 100 years. We're here at ABC Recycling once again in Burnaby. We've got lots more coming up on BT as we go to break. Let's take a look at this conveyor belt once again. Stay with us. We've got Untitled Chapter coming up next. Once again, we are here at ABC Recycling. They are celebrating over 100 years here out in Burnaby. Of course, a big family business, actually several different locations. And we should point out, Jody, that what's great is that they actually divert about 20,000 tons per month out of the landfills. Just a few of the great things that they do here. We got lots more coming up just before 9 o'clock. Yeah, here at ABC Recycling, a local business celebrating over 100 years. We're going to go through the final stages here. We're in the loading bay, but as we go to break here, can you guess what this bale is comprised of? Stay with us. You're watching BT Live from Burnaby. Yeah, we're here at ABC Recycling in Burnaby. By the way, as we went to break, we saw this bale, and it actually was Christmas lights. It was Christmas lights for anyone that was trying to guess. We're here with Karen, and of course, this is a big family business, ABC Recycling. Where do you fit into the family mix?
Well, I'm one of the fourth-generation family members. My mother's father and grandfather were the founders of the business.
Wonderful.
So,
We're always kind of interested in this kind of stuff. I mean, it's pretty rough and tumble out here.
Yeah, no, I've always been interested in business and being exposed to it from such a young age. You know, it's a really interesting business.
Well, it certainly is an interesting business. We've been here all morning long. We're now in the final stages. Where are we right now?
Well, this is our loading bay where you see the containers here, and the finished baled product of metals gets loaded up and then loaded into these containers and shipped, exported for final processing and recycling.
And the numbers are astounding. 20,000 tons per month that's not going into a landfill because of a place like this.
Yeah.
And so how many locations do you have?
We have 8 locations.
And how important is it, you know, you're really ingrained in this community where this family business over 100 years. What other kinds of initiatives do you do here?
Well, we have a really strong belief in giving back to the communities within which we operate. And so one of a big partnership that we have is with the BC Women's Hospital Foundation, the newborn intensive care unit. David, my cousin and our CEO, he sits on the cabinet, and we're a benefactor of the campaign.
So for anyone that wants to help, you should check out ABC Recycling. They've got lots of great initiatives. For more details, go to abcrecycling.com. That is it from here. Thanks so much for having us out here from Burnaby. By the way, we're out in Squamish tomorrow there, Jody.